No, Juan. We're live.
Juan. All right. So,
Oh, that ain't gonna work.
welcome to
Hi,
the
Harry.
Blue Collar Society podcast. We have our very guest right here, Aliat. I say it right?
Oh,
Oliad,
yeah.
we went over
We
Oh
just
this.
yeah,
talked about this.
Boy,
yeah.
No
Oh yeah.
skateboarding.
I speak two languages. It's hard to get names sometimes, okay?
Apparently not. No, okay.
Hey, I
Apparently
mean,
not.
You're wrong in both languages.
I speak three languages, so you can't really use that as an excuse.
Flex on me.
Mm-mm.
All right. No, because, like, for instance, my name is said two different ways, too.
Oh, okay. How do you pronounce your name?
Well, mine is three. In English is Omar.
Yeah.
In Spanish is Omar, and
Okay.
in Arab is Umar.
And in Bronx, it's Oma.
Yeah, and in the Bronx it's oh man. But anyways, you're on finally to be here. So just give us a quick introductory. Where you from? Basic information for people to know.
Okay. So my name is Oliad. Oli Tiles is my Instagram handle, and I guess TikTok as well. But my name is Oliad. I am from Canada. I'm born and raised in Ethiopia, but I currently live in Canada. And I've been tiling for about 5 years now, I would say. Uh, yeah, and I got two kids, two boys, 3.5 and 1.5. So also living the father life and trying to run a business.
Mm.
I heard that's difficult.
Being
Yeah, it's
that he's the
pretty.
youngest guy in the podcast, he has no
Am,
idea.
am, am I? Hold up. I
No,
thought
I
you.
am.
Oh, Jeremiah.
Yeah,
Jeremiah is.
Nah,
Ah.
he's 22.
yeah. I'm
He's the
25.
youngest guy. So, oh, damn. Okay, second youngest, and then that's who's older, me or you, Harry?
I am. I've been 34 for about the past 7 years.
So I'm the third. He's like, I haven't aged. It's
I
just
mean,
a
you look.
number,
No, no.
right?
I'm 85, 85. So I'm 34. I mean 38, 38.
85.
That's when
But
I was
damn.
born. So that makes
Oh,
me.
Oh,
he said I'm 85. I'm like, damn, black really don't crack, does it, Harry? Man, I mean, look like he's in his 40s.
80s babies, man. You know what? You know how
yeah,
us
buddy.
Puerto Ricans do, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Yes, sir. Blackstone crack.
So, so how did you come about to become a Tyler?
So, I was first introduced to tiling by my father-in-law. Um, so, at the time, I was dating his daughter, who is the mother of my two children now. But he asked me if I can help him out work one day. At that time, I was working at a restaurant. Uh, I was actually a dishwasher. It's kind of sad, but we
Hey,
had
hey,
to
hey.
do what we got to do. I was like right out of high school, a year after high school too. So I figured I've never been in the trades, and I know he worked in construction. I didn't know exactly what he did, and he also didn't have lots of pictures of what he did. He's old school, so he's not the type to like take pictures of his work or do anything like that. So he introduced me to tile first, and I was just helping him, handing him tiles and stacking tiles beside him, making sure he doesn't run out of tiles. Just being a good helper, or in other words, a good bitch. You know, make sure everything is going smooth. That's what he called me, his grinder bitch, and he called me his grout bitch and his grinder bitch. But that's
Oh,
I had to pay my dues, and I asked a lot of questions when he would do certain things, and I would ask him, why are you doing this? Why did you do this? Or why are you doing it like this? And stuff like that. So he was like do you want to learn how to install tiles? I was like,
Please.
yes, sir. So he was very patient. It took me about 2 years to sort of get a hang of it, but my third year tiling with him, we were working for a renovation company. So we were doing a lot more than just tiling at the time. So I was, getting exposed to more than just tiles at the time. But I slowly learned and got a hang of it, and I started getting side projects on the weekend. And I started, doing small tips around backsplashes and stuff like that. And right about third year tiling with him, I went on my own. Well, mainly not work. I wasn't working for him at the time. We were both working for a renovation company, and that company did not want to give me a raise, which I figured. Well, I knew I deserved at the time, and I was like the second time asking for the raise. So
This seems to be a reoccurring story with everybody we interview. Like, they didn't want to give me a raise, so I raised myself.
yeah, I mean that's what you got to do in life, right?
And now I make half as much. No, no.
Hey, you gotta know or learn your worth. It's nice to have that consistent work and have someone that you can rely on that
Security.
will have work. Exactly. Like we didn't have to worry about work. We knew he got everything else taken care of. He would tell us where to go. We just show up to the address and we get going. But when you're on your own, you got to do everything that he's doing and also the work, so it's harder, right? So that was the scariest part. So I was just like, I know I'm not gonna be ready if I just don't jump in it, and I knew I wasn't ready at the time. So but I still decided I'm not gonna work for the company anymore because I figured my time was worth more than what I was getting.
Hmm.
Big facts.
Now, back to the dishwashing.
Funny part is though, when I was working at that restaurant, it was a pretty fancy restaurant. It's like in the middle of downtown, right in front of the Parliament. But it's a French restaurant. I made about $18 an hour. That's before
Damn.
tips. So when I started working for the company, I started for the renovation company. I started at pretty much 18, and I got a raise to $20. Pretty much when he decided to hire students in the summer, and they were pretty much getting paid the same as me, but like they're just sitting and watching. So I'm like, how does that make sense? So I got a bump too.
Sorry.
What?
Good.
Sorry, what's that? Say that again.
I was gonna say, is that company still in business today? Because I know a guy that's in Ottawa that was in high school, and he's actually now he graduated and he's in construction full time. But he did that all throughout the summertime and as a credit. And I was
Well,
curious what the company was. It's a pretty big one in Ottawa, he says.
okay, yeah, no, it's not. This company wasn't that big, but
Oh, okay.
I mean, the guy, the person that owns the company is pretty much a millionaire now. But other than that, he's pretty good with money. He used to be a banker.
Yeah, that's because he wasn't paying you.
Yeah, exactly. No, his
we don't raise your guys.
yeah, well, his reason was that I don't deserve the raise that I'm asking for. It was too high at the time because I wasn't making him enough money, which I sort of understand. I get there is, a lot of other stuff that I probably don't have to worry about as just as solo business owner, where I have to, pay taxes for employees and stuff like that. So maybe that comes in play and whatnot. But he said that I don't make him enough money for him to pay me what I'm asking. So I was like, all right, fair enough. I'll make it easier for you and myself. And right after that, when I went on my own, I was instantly making, when I was working, I was instantly making around 40 to 60 bucks an hour. So I was like, that's way better than $20 an hour.
Until then, until the headaches came.
Yes, yes, and then the headaches too, right? It's all part of,
Yeah,
I guess,
it's
the journey and learning experience.
well,
And
you start, I think, the journey by wanting more control and more, um, giving you a raise essentially, but then you start to realize that you're losing freedom in the same process, and also you're not understanding all the headaches that I'm sure big companies have way over headaches that we, us single installers ever have to deal with.
no, yeah,
So
definitely for sure.
That's
I
what you
mean,
sign up for, though, man. You sign up for
yeah,
that shit when you make that decision.
yes,
And
sir.
absolutely.
And we thought it
that,
was a good idea, Harry. We were
huh?
sold on that lie. We were going to be rich, have all the time in the world. It's going to be easy.
Not
Just a
overnight.
lie.
Shit.
Don't
Yeah.
take
Not overnight,
advice
yes,
from
sir.
your friends that don't own their own company.
So and with starting your own company, right? What was the biggest hurdles the first hurdle, let's say? What was the big first problem that you encounter
The
as a
first,
new business owner?
the first big problem, I would say, um, the only problem. So I've had two different types of problem. One is sort of with people. Well, both with people, but like one is directly with my clients, and one is pretty much with uh, and it involves business, but dealing with business stuff, trying to get things done so I can, you know, get my taxes done and stuff like that. So dealing with the government, it's just I live in a province called Quebec, and I work in Ottawa, which is located in a different province, which is called Ontario. So I registered my business in Ontario, which is Ottawa, but for me to get my tax my tax number and all that like headache stuff, I had to deal with the government in this province, which well, a lot of them, it's a French province, and I don't speak French. So that's the main reason I also work in Ottawa. So it's very hard to communicate also, because not they do speak English, but not everybody understands what I'm trying to explain to them. So it was very hard to get business stuff done. That was one of the obstacles, I would say.
Did
Um,
you did you know you had these obstacles coming at you, or
I thought it was going to be easy. I thought I was going to be able to go directly deal with it directly with the government of Canada, which is CRA, and now I have to deal with Revenue Quebec. So
sure.
if it was with CRA, it would have been a lot easier, because I think I could have been able to do it right on the website. And
Well, they may not speak a lot of English, man, but if you go up there and be like, "I need help," or "I'm whooping someone's ass," they'll figure out English real quick. No,
oh man, I'll
that
probably get
tone is
my
universal.
Now have you hired somebody to do that side of the business?
Administration,
Y-
if you will.
yes,
Well, not as
I
the
have.
taxes thing.
Oh,
Yes, I have one guy who does my taxes for me, but he's also from the province that I work in. So he doesn't really understand a lot of their stuff when it comes over to the Quebec side. So he couldn't help me with that stuff, but he is able to do my taxes for me. But I just had to get someone. She's not an accountant, but more like a bookkeeper or something like that. But
mhm.
she understood and knew how to deal with that, so she was able, well, she's helping me with that currently. So that's what we're doing.
So, what would be the correct way of saying? So we say usually Uncle Sam is after us, but since you're in Canada, who's after you? Who do you owe taxes to?
Uncle Tom, I guess.
Uncle
I say
Tom.
Uncle Ben.
Uncle Ben.
Yeah, well,
Nah, Ben.
Ben. No, not
Yeah.
Ben. Not that Ben. I don't know. My father-in-law usually just says, I don't know. Whenever he will do something or show me something, he will just say, that's that, and like he's done or whatever, and he'll just go, um, or no, not Ben. What is it? Maybe Bob. Oh, Bob. Bob's. Yeah, he says Bob's your uncle. I don't know. Is that a thing that you guys hear?
No, so whenever we have some big entity that we owe money to, so for taxes, federal taxes, it's Uncle Sam. If you have a home loan, it's Sally Mae. Which Sally Mae, they actually make you take a Sally Mae course the first time you buy a house for a loan. And then what's the one for student loans?
Yeah,
I'm glad I never had to do that.
Fannie Mac. Oh, no, not
Fannie Mae. Fannie Mac or Fannie Mae? One
Fannie,
of those, but
Fannie Mae. Yeah, Fannie Mae.
My student
Uncle
loans are
Sam's the
Fannie
one
Mae.
that doesn't discriminate.
Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam sounds pretty chill.
If you win the lot,
Yeah.
it's about 40%. He's pretty chill. Yeah, no.
Oh,
I
he's
bet he
chiller,
is.
right? He's so chill.
chill.
That way.
You owe him
With all that free money coming in, how can
You
you
know what I mean?
possibly be stressed out?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
He goes home and drowns in stress and dollar bills.
He's
Leaves.
he's that guy that shows up on Thursday and it's like, listen, you made 600, cool. We made $300 each.
Yeah.
Well, and in our country, his name is what's his name? Justin Trudeau.
Oh boy.
That guy. Now we're gonna get banned. See, they kicked Harry out already. Jesus Christ.
As soon as I said that, they pick him.
Canada's coming for us.
So I guess this would be a mutual topic I think we've all ran into as far as like your bookkeeping. 'Cause I know Harry had a thing going on with his tax office. It's coming tax season for us, where we got to start, getting our books together. Omar's venturing out to different stuff. I got to get a bookkeeper. You're getting a bookkeeper. So what do you use to balance your books? Or you just
Well,
do old school paper?
I also have old school paper. I just write it down just for myself. Also, when I do my quotes and stuff, I like to write it down just to see a visual. But I use what is it called? Yeah, QuickBooks.
QuickBooks.
Yeah, I use QuickBooks for all my invoices and stuff. So all my invoices are on record on there, so I can print them or send them to my bookkeeper or my. Yeah, we can't hear you, Harry. Oh,
No,
what
you
did
had to
you
leave.
leave? Oh, okay.
Yes. So I use QuickBooks too. I've been using it for a while. I just do my contracts. I have like a detailed contract, and I just do a lump sum price on QuickBooks, and I send them the payment portal to do all that stuff. And I recently got their little card reader.
Okay, what's the card reader?
So that I can sit there and they can tap their credit card, or they can put their credit card in, and I can take payments right then and there.
Oh, that's cool. What the heck? I didn't know you can do that.
Yep. So it's $60, and they'll send it to you.
Dang.
Or 60 US.
And how were you able to? Did you just write your contract on QuickBooks, or did you write it on a different thing and attach it with the?
I attached it as QuickBooks. So like I have the full breakdown on my contracts, and then when I attach that contract, the signed contract, to QuickBooks, and then I just have an invoice for one lump sum, which is their total, and then all their payment schedules are broken down inside of the contract itself. But at least I can use QuickBooks as the payment portal for that. I can record the payments, I can book it, I can see when it's due, all that stuff, and also too I can have them pay with card. So it's a good portal, good tool.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, no, I didn't know you can do that. I was aware people can use their credit card and debit card, I guess, to pay directly when I send them the invoice.
Mhm.
But I didn't know that you can do that. That's cool. $60, you said, and
Well, if you're sending them an invoice like via email,
yeah.
you're supposed to be able to send them a payment link that they can click on and pay, right, Jeremiah?
Yeah. That's what he's
So
saying. He
the
does. He
reader-
sends them the invoice, and they
Yeah.
can type the card in, and you pay.
Yeah. So the card reader
2.9%.
the card reader is for like in person. Like you go and let's say you do a quick call where you have to caulk a tub.
Service
You know what I
calls.
mean?
Yeah.
A service call, and
Okay.
then you're like, all right, we caulked your tub the X amount, cash, credit. They're like, credit, okay, cool, swipe here, done. You can do it right on the spot, versus waiting for a check or God knows what else,
Oh, I hate checks.
Yeah.
I recently put a check in. Man, I put it in on Friday, and I had to wait. So pretty much it got released on.
Mhm.
It was supposed to be released on Friday. Why are you laughing? It was supposed to be released on Friday technically because they said 3 to 5 business days. So Friday. So from Friday to next Friday is the 5 days. I did not
Yeah.
get I did not get access to it till Monday midnight.
Yeah, that's why I try to use QuickBooks as much as possible. So with the email invoice, it's 2.9% transaction fee. With the
Yeah.
card reader, it's 2.5%. I just tack it on top, call it a day. But I had the same issue with the checks, especially when when work was low and it's like I can start a week and a half, right? But I got to use that to buy
Yeah.
material, or I want to make sure that the check clears before I go out and buy a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
for bigger checks, I'll just tell the customer, even if I've got to eat the $10 or $15, I tell them to get a secured check or a cashier's check, which is certified, and it's basically
Okay.
like it's instant deposit. They pull the money out. That paper is worth whatever money they put on it, and then you can cash in. It's usually fast and instant. So,
Okay.
but it has its ups and downs. You do pay a percentage, a
Yeah.
transaction fee for it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yo,
So,
how do you guys do that? How are you able to put your logo behind you, like the daddy and the logo and the
Oh, it's
profile?
it's in your
if you
camera
see
settings.
where it says settings on the bottom, it should
Yes, I
say
see that.
setting. Yeah, so you click
Okay.
on that, and
Whoa.
then on the left side it says virtual background.
Yeah. Okay, see
Click
it.
on that, and then you have a bunch of options. Right now you have the blur, but then
Okay.
I added mine, and then after that I couldn't add anymore. I don't know why, but I added mine, and that was that.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, no, this is a pretty cool website. I'm gonna talk to my neighbor about it. So if he wants to do video for his podcast, this will be perfect.
Yeah, no, it's a pretty simple, I guess, stream that we use now, right?
Mhm.
Jeremiah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so with back to the business side of things, you are a solo installer, right? Or do you have a helper?
Yes, I'm solo, but I do have a helper some days, uh, and other times I'm mainly helping my father-in-law if he is on a rush or on a big job site. I still
Well,
work with him till this day.
if you need another helper or someone that a young guy that wants to learn tile, let me know. I know someone that's in Ottawa that wants to learn tile to the point where he's actually debating on flying over to North Carolina and working with me. So
That's crazy.
yeah.
Wait,
What are you looking at, Omar?
what's his name?
Zach.
Okay, okay. I don't think I know that person. I know
I reached
people.
out to you before on Instagram about him.
Yes, okay, that was you. Okay, okay.
Mhm.
I was gonna be like someone reached out, but it's crazy too because I have people from India and Turkey messaging me and be like asking me to come work for my company, and I'm like I laugh at that because I'm like I'm not. I wish, but I'm not even.
I'm trying to work for
I'm just
myself.
yeah. I'm just trying to build myself up at the moment. I'm just like sustaining at this at the moment. So it's
So,
flattering, but at the same time, it's like sorry, but that's kind of
well,
crazy.
I think the social media makes us look more glamorous than the whole situation really is.
Yes,
It makes
it
you
does.
right. It makes you seem like, oh man, everything is perfect, and they
They
if
don't
they
see
knew
all
how
the.
many
Oh man,
yeah how many
I was
how many cuts, how many tiles we ripped off the walls, how many times you walked off the job like, all right, I'm gonna go get a job down the street. I'm done with this. I'm not doing
yeah
this ever again.
yeah I've done that a couple of times. My second job, my second side job ever. After I was getting confident in my installing skills, I got I installed a backsplash, and then I got another client in the province that I live in. So it wasn't too far from me. So I said, sure, why not? I went and did it. It was I did not know it was marble tiles, so I didn't even bring a wet saw, and it was in the middle of the winter, so they did not have a garage that I could even set up the wet sign, or anywhere I could set up the wet sign if I took it. So I pretty much had to use a wet sponge and the grinder cut outside with what is it, herringbone marble on mosaic sheet. And it was my second. I had a helper that day with me, and it was my brother-in-law. If he wasn't there with me, I don't think I could. I would have left that job, and I was gonna call my father-in-law and be like, I need your help. I was this close to losing it. I was this close. I don't even know how we managed to get that job done. We got it done. There was a couple of things that I saw I was not happy with. Client did not complain, thank God. Grouted. They were able to install their hood fan right on top of. They wanted us to install right to the ceiling. Did that. They screwed right through the marble tiles. I was worried it was going to explode everywhere, but the husband, I guess, has construction background. So yeah, everything went good. And second job, and I almost already quit. So.
Oh, okay. So that's, I mean, I think all of us have experienced that one job that's like, okay, maybe we should go get a regular job and just not
Oh
have to
yeah.
worry about that.
Every job.
Every single job. It starts with like, yeah, we can do this.
Still
As soon as you do the demo, you're like, why? Why did I sign up for this? And then halfway
And then
through,
that
you
check.
get a little bit. No, halfway through, you're like, you know what? I think I got this. And then, like, all of a sudden, something bad happens. You're like, you know what? No, that's it. I'm done. I'm selling my tools, and I'm just gonna get a regular job. And then,
Yeah. Can I go
You
work
come
at
back.
Walmart?
McDonald's.
Yeah, McDonald's, Walmart warehouse. Walmart warehouse pays pretty good.
Mhm.
yeah.
I used to. Well, I worked right out of high school. That was my first job right off.
You were at Walmart or the warehouse?
Walmart warehouse.
Oh, I just worked at
Driving,
Walmart.
Oh yeah, my younger cousin worked at Walmart, and he currently lives in Toronto, and he's actually working with the youth academy for Toronto Raptors. He went to school for what is it called? Sports management.
Nice.
Okay, there you
Yeah.
go.
From Walmart to the manager to youth management of the Raptors.
Yes, sir.
So that's a hell of. I mean, how do you compute that pay bump?
Well, he's
Oh,
still
you're
it's kind of crazy because he's not really working with the big deals because it's the youth developing program, so they don't really have the best pay, but he still has to do another job. It's crazy trying to live in Toronto. I don't even know why he lives in Toronto. I keep telling him, move back, bro. You can work with me and we can make bang. But because I know he's a good worker. He's actually a good worker when it comes to he's not the type of person that's scared to get his hands dirty. But I don't know why he chose that life. Toronto is tough. I don't know if you guys hear about Toronto. It's crazy.
I don't know why you guys are in Canada, period. But
I was about to say
that's
that.
a whole different subject.
Like, come over here. It's like we came down here to suck, and we didn't think you'd listen.
It's almost
No,
almost like me saying people are like, "Hey, look, come to New York. It's not that bad." No, it's horrible in New York. Don't come to New York. It's bad.
I don't know if I would move to New York. I feel like New York is too hectic for me. Only
New York.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you sorry. You go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say New York. I feel like New York and Toronto are sort of the same for me because I find Toronto is just too crazy.
Now
Too
you're
busy.
used to because I lived in Toronto for 6 to 9 months, I think, when I was up there. I actually have funny story. I have my Canadian residency.
What part of Toronto?
Couldn't tell you, man. I was so young when I was up there.
Oh, okay.
I remember. What did I remember seeing? I wasn't too far from the Sky Dome. I know that. It wasn't that
Okay.
far off because my dad originally went up there to work in the restaurants, and that's where he was a chef. But so yeah, with the Canada thing, it's just why Canada, New York. Okay, so that was what I was trying to get at. So the New York to Toronto that you're thinking New York City.
Yeah, New York
Yeah.
City. Oh, I thought you was talking about New York
Yeah.
City.
Where I live, we got cows and horses.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
yeah,
in a
no.
really nice area.
Okay, that's nice. Well, I mean, we got cows and horses here as well, but the city's also not too. It's about 45-minute drive, right, Kayla? Like
We got
the
cows and horses, but they don't like it when we call
city
them
from here.
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, no, for me it's if I had to drive to the city, probably an hour and a half. I want to say
Ooh,
an
damn.
hour, 45 minutes. It's in there, but
Is it
it's
even
nice.
worth
Like you
it?
still have the no. Yeah, so, like, even to
Yeah.
like think about it this way, like well, Toronto. The difference between Toronto and New York is like Toronto is New York without a lot of people in it. Believe it or not, New York City is way more congested than Toronto is.
Yes,
So,
Because you have all those
it is.
rats. They don't count.
so
Hey,
so I,
Toronto also has a rat problem. Eh? Let you
New York's
learn.
got pet rats.
you know, our rats are the size of freaking little pit bulls. But
They
so
bite
the
like
thing
one
with
too.
that is like everybody, like we know Shafiq for example, Gold Tile. He works sometimes in the city or JC Tile too,
Yeah,
and the troubles that you have to go through with parking
yeah,
and
exactly. Oh,
limitations. You can't shut water off. You have to have permits for everything. I mean, it's a nightmare. He's like, listen, if I'm doing anything in New York City, the price is already 4 times as much, just because it's in the city,
makes
and
sense.
it's a
Total had to
problem.
pull a permit for a backsplash, and he wasn't. I think he wasn't
Yep.
even tearing out tile. He was just installing it.
Yeah, you have to pull a permit to install a backsplash.
Yep.
Like that's how
I know.
bad the city can get.
I know Jose or JC Tile. He said that you bring the wet saw up to whatever floor. He has certain hours that he can run it right with his quiet time. So it's like it
Yeah,
equated to like 3 hours that he could use a wet saw and make noise. So and on big jobs, I mean, which he does some pretty big jobs. 3 hours really isn't much at all.
no, it's not. And
Yeah, no, it's the setup and yeah, no, it's and Jose doesn't live that far from me either. He's in the midway point, like from the city
okay,
to me. He's in between, so it's still a city, but it's starting to get to the suburbs and like that area where it's kind of like a city now.
yeah, starting
But
to have more population.
yeah,
Get a
so
little sketchy.
well, yeah, where he is, depending which side, because so he lives in a city that's actually quite big, and it's actually has north, south, east, and west. It was almost considered a borough, I think, at one point. Like that's how big it is, part of New York City.
Mm.
So you go to the east, I think it is, right? The east side is the Italians and the Irish. The west
Oh,
side is the opposite people. The south is you got the Jewish, and then the north you
yes.
start getting into like
Isn't
regular. Yeah, it's like that.
And when they all run to the center, hell breaks loose. No, but
New York. And so yeah, with prior to tiling, did you have construction experience or no?
I mean, no. The only thing I did that could, I guess, have prepared me for going into construction, I would say, would be taking woodshop class when I was in high school. But I also took, well, I took woodshop class 1 year, and then I don't know, I enjoyed the class and what we did, but I think it was more like I didn't really like the teacher and his personality, so I ended up taking automotives, which is working, I guess, with motors. I wanted to be a mechanical engineer actually, which I was supposed to go
Mhm.
to. I wanted to go to a university in where is it? Nova Scotia. You guys know Ben from Breakwater, or yeah, Water Break Tile.
no, I'll have to
I
check them
believe
out.
so.
Yeah, I
I think
think
I think I know, yeah.
I don't know if it's Halifax or Nova Scotia, but one of the province. I was planning to go there. I did like my what is it called? Application. Filled out my application and everything, and then I was like, I wanna become a filmmaker and go to Toronto, but that just did not
I
happen.
thought about that too, and then I looked at the salary. I was like, we're gonna have to. I got to work on that
But
because I want to do like VFX and all that.
See, when I
Yeah,
when I
I
went
did.
to school. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I was gonna say I did a lot of photography and videography also when I was in high school, and I also had a YouTube channel and I made lots of videos, lots of stupid videos when I was younger.
Me
Which
too.
I'm not really gonna talk about. Uh, some of them might have caused me and one of my best friend at the time to make it on the headlines of the newspaper. But yeah,
Ooh,
we're not
we'll
gonna
talk
talk
about
about
that
any.
later.
No, we're not gonna dive into any of that. But yeah,
We all have a
I
YouTube
did
channel that we're
videos.
not proud of.
Yeah, no.
I do too.
So
You got to find it.
I had a video background, so I wanted to sort of, I guess, explore my creativity side as well with videography and cinematography, and to just I wanted to be more like a director instead of like the person who's taking the video, like carrying the camera and stuff like that. I also enjoy doing that, but at the time I think I felt like I had, I don't know, the vision to be a director. So that's what I wanted to do, and I sort of took a different route.
Well, now you installed.
As you can see,
Yeah.
As you can see, now you
'Cause you
still
still
are the
record.
camera guy.
I was
You're
gonna
still
say,
the camera guy.
Yeah, I still the camera guy and still edit the videos.
because I took film and photography in high school as well, and I was really into it. Like I used to, After Effects was my thing, especially for videos.
Yeah.
And now AI and like CapCut, all the things that I spent hours on, I can do in a click of a button. And I'm kind of annoyed because I was like, you know how many hours I spent on YouTube learning this?
I know, I know. Right now, I'm
You're-
still. Go ahead.
No, I would say you're annoyed with having to go on YouTube. I was using VHS tapes that I had to cut together and glue them.
Well, for those of us that are
That's why
ancient, for me and
Dude,
Oli,
I had a dude when I took. It's funny because all three of us have taken video and photography, and all three of us wanted to do that. Like, I
no, we
wanted
took video and photography. You took film. All right, that's a different class. You're old enough to say you took film.
Yeah, it was. Yo, yeah, that's right. I got the big. No, not that ancient. The big cameras that you used to see the news reporters have. I almost dropped one of those things. I think it was like $3,000 at the time, or it would have been bad.
Omar, we
But
used it as a
then-
prop in one of my high school videos as a rocket launcher. I just want you to know that. I've got that video
Yeah, no.
somewhere.
When I took that class, it was weird because you would sit in the studio. You'd have like 7 different monitors, like 10 different VHS players, and you actually had the dial. Dude, the framework was so bad because like the frames would just go from like, okay, you're standing here to here. There was no in between.
And so
yeah,
much
that's
work
my
though.
only-
All that work
Oh.
just to be able
For nothing.
for nothing.
for nothing.
But it was, yeah. See, it's funny because it's the same route. I wanted to do video and photography too. I got into photography. I actually have pictures that I took, black and white. So how did you learn how to develop film? Or you guys were in the digital
He's
era?
25, Omar.
No.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Me and him have pretty much the same generational experience.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, so you guys have never developed a roll of film?
My
Slackers.
school used to have that, but I think 2 or 3 years before I went
They
to that.
retired it?
Yeah, they turned it into a different. What do you call it? Recreational.
My school used the old VHS tape ribbons for art projects for the art class.
No, so we had to learn how to like, so you have to use this black bag that was sealed in order for you to open the rolls, because otherwise, as soon as it takes light, it develops it and
Yeah.
ruins it. So, and you'd have to put it in a container. Then you would have to get chemicals and put it in there so it will develop the film.
Get a little sniff on the way.
Film, hang it, and then you would have to go into the dark room that had the red light, and that was the only time you would have to literally expose what do you call that, picture paper on the projector, and that's how you would get your pictures. It was just a nuisance to get one picture out.
That is a
So-
lot of work. But
Oh, it's a lot. And
I feel
it's a
like
lot.
though,
And
I feel like I would have enjoyed that. I don't know. I mean,
He
It's-
says you're showing your age.
yeah, I know. So it's fun. It was fun because you learn like chemistry at the same time. You really were learning chemistry because these chemicals like that you had to
Yes.
use. And
Accidentally
also
make meth.
too- exactly. And also too, what's cool is because you have to put your film on a projector and it gets projected kind of like a screen printer in essence. But you can add
Yeah.
things to the projector to make it like shadowy, and this is how you would do like details since we didn't have computers
That's called
during that
Photoshop.
class. Exactly, Photoshop. But yeah, no, that was like, see, that's the, with my generation, we've experienced like no cell phones to cell phones to technology, all in one lifetime. It's bad. It's
I
bad.
mean, it's a lot of change. I feel like that your generation sort of had to adapt to. Which, if you were not willing to adapt to changes, then I feel like you were just left behind, sort of thing.
A lot did.
Which,
A lot
which a lot,
refused.
which I see that I'm I don't want to say specifically anyone, but I also see few people on Instagram that do really, really great work, and I feel like if they had a bit of background with technology, they could have the time or have the skill to be able to take the pictures or videos of their work and make just really great videos. Because I get a couple of people, I've got 2 or 3 people ask me how I make my videos, and if there was someone else that I paid to do my videos, and I'm just like, no, I do my videos myself. It's not that much work if you I feel like if you enjoy it, then you're willing to explore and want to do it. I think it's just about wanting to enjoy it.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
that's like so I guess that's like the video side of all three of us that we wanted to. Now with social media and how easy it is to do these things, like you're doing everything on a phone.
Yes,
How,
everything in the
instead of like you would have to upload it to a computer, then you would have to download songs, and then you would have to chop it and crop it and move it
Yeah.
over.
Go frame by frame.
Yeah.
Compress
Yep.
it.
Well, now
and-
it's like it takes you what 5 minutes, if that, if you have silence to set up a whole video.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
pretty much.
sound. And then also you have now AI, which is going to be the next evolution. Like you guys are getting to see technology and AI. We got to see the comics that were wrote about AI, and we're going to see them come to life. Essentially,
See, and another thing too with the phone editing is when I was editing like videos and stuff like that, you had to have a computer that was able to process and efficiently export all this stuff. And now your phone just does it like that.
Yep.
So, I mean, if you're doing a 4K and you're doing like a landscape mode, it'd still take a little bit of time, but your phone could still do it in less than a minute.
Yes, so
So-
fast. I've edited
fast.
on computers, on MacBook, Windows, and well, now on my phone I use CapCut. Whenever I
Mhm.
export, I think the longest I've had to wait is maybe 1 minute, and that was like a minute and a half long video, which was a very, very long video, which I had
Mhm.
to
compress.
turn into, yeah, exactly, compressed down to a minute and 30 seconds, which was the shortest I could make it.
Well,
And it was
if
pretty
you
fast.
post it as a regular post, you can do more than 1 minute. Just so you know, more than 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Yeah, okay. I don't know. I think
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just used to just posting reels, and I wanna post my videos as just reels separately, and then when I post pictures, I wanna post that as like as a post.
Yeah, well, when it's long format, Instagram will automatically convert it from a reel to a post on a video.
Post. Yeah.
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 So, but just right now, Instagram favors reels for the
Reels.
algorithm.
Yes.
Right.
So-
So
For the
you got
reels.
right. You got reels is so essentially the formula that pretty much everybody tells you on social media is is, you want to record the entire video, chop it up into a 5-minute video for your YouTube channel, and then take that 5-minute video and chop it up into reels for all the other platforms. Because I mean,
Yeah.
YouTube used to be our entertainment hub, I guess. We used to go and watch entertainment there, but now that the instant gratification that Instagram gives you of like 10 seconds that you just need,
Just think you guys had to upload a video using dial-up.
oh Jesus, don't go there. And now we have Instagram. People just want that quick hit, just quick 5 to 10, and then even like 7 seconds.
No, it's 5 to 10 seconds, or 10 to 15 seconds at a time.
Right.
Because you'll sit there and you'll just start scrolling. You're just feeding your mind with this crap, and now you're like, crap. It's been 30 minutes. 30 minutes of my life I just wasted away.
Scroll of death.
And then you feel like a zombie after.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it also, it's your responsibility to not get into that. Like I usually go on Reels to find either inspirations or a type of cut that I can do with my videos, or looking for sound bites.
Yeah, same.
Oh, I try to recreate some of Oli's videos, man. He got some good ones.
Yeah, so that was what I do with my time. Like I'll scroll, like, oh, this video, this sound bite goes with this video, and then I end up chopping up the sound bite, because you can chop up the sound bite in CapCut to use only the parts that you want. And so you end up getting these sound bites that belong to a really long sound bite, but are only used for 7 seconds, which Instagram allows you to do to an extent. Like they're adding more features to their editing software. Now you can put the song where you want, versus like it would only go from the beginning.
Yeah, I like how they did that. That is a big improvement, because I've been planning for them to do that for the longest time, actually.
Hey, Oli, Harry said he has to start dropping his phone in Thinset. I saw that video as soon as it shook. I'm like, oh no!
Oh man,
it started to happen. I knew what was happening.
I've been holding out on you guys. There's way too many videos of my phone just dropping and almost dropping.
Oh, I think we all do.
Oh.
Except me.
We got a couple of videos where it's like, oh fuck, please don't be broken, please don't be broken.
Yeah,
you got to get you know what
you have a tripod. You're flexing on us with a tripod.
Oh, no. You do have a tripod?
No, he has the old school tripod, which is a roll of tape, blue tape.
Yeah.
See, that's the OG tripod. You can actually put the tape on the wall and put your phone on the side, and it'll still hold it down. So
yeah.
No, I have the pole, the telescopic pole, to put my laser on, and then I forgot that remember the iRange tripod that I bought comes with a clamp claw. So I was able to clamp it onto the pole and put it at the angle that I want today. I was like, ooh, I can do this now. And I don't have to carry the 2 tripods that I usually carry around with me.
Well, one thing I discovered also, just a few weeks back, I ended up buying a Milwaukee light,
oh yeah,
telescopic light. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's huge.
The one that you extend, and then you can just rotate it from the top. You can leave it just facing up, or you can turn it this way or the other way. Sort of in the middle where the light goes in place, there's like places where I can just put my phone. So I feel like I'm just gonna use that as a reason to bring my light every job site, and it's even if I don't need the light.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta. Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, for like $20, man, it's like the biggest investment. The tripod that has the flexible arms, because you can just wrap that around something, clamp your phone into it. You get so many better angles with that. It's like, I bought a couple because I lose everything. So I've owned about 3 of the same tripod. And Omar knows. The fastest way to find something is to buy another one.
Yeah, and then
But yeah, I mean, you can wrap that thing around studs, wrap around a tripod, wrap around your light stand. Oh man, what you flexing on us with the Milwaukee cup? Is that a pack out cup?
Yes, it's a pack out. It's a pack out cup. Wait, it's not focusing on it.
Oh, it's gonna do that because you have the blur filter.
Now here's the question: if you tip that cup, does it leak?
It doesn't actually. If it's closed, I've had it leak in my cooler, but once it's
You better Dairy Queen it over your head. I
oh,
want to see this.
hold up. Oh no, there's actually a bit of leakage.
That's
I mean,
why I
Hold it
didn't
over
get
your
it.
head. Commit.
I don't
That's
know.
why I didn't buy it.
Really?
wait.
Watch that thing.
I was
Imagine
gonna
that thing
say,
just
bust
popped open right.
That's
No, because
Just give
I originally wanted to get that cup, but then I got it. I actually have a reel about it, and then I went home and I filled it up and I tipped it to like grab it and it started leaking. I was like, oh, this no.
nuts.
No. He's expecting it. He's like, damn it.
Well, I
just
didn't
want-
know. I didn't know it was supposed to be leak proof. I just saw it and I was like, that's pretty cool. And then I discovered like this
It
part here,
Yeah, it clips in.
it clips in. I was like,
Yeah.
hold up now. I just wish I had got the red, but I'm okay with black because once I don't know. Yeah, blacks don't crack.
That's actually
Eh,
that's actually a
I've
thing.
grabbed it a couple of times.
he
And
said,
it's
not on my Mac. Don't spill it on my Mac.
Oh, that's your buddy. Oh man, you were there testing the boundaries of the Milwaukee Cup over again.
Hey, Sean, why am I having such a hard time? I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm having such a hard time using this mouse right here. It's not working.
Is it on?
That's because my man's holding it like a trowel.
Is that what he
He
said?
said it ain't working.
How can I
It ain't
see?
working.
How can I see the comments?
On the right side of your screen should be private chat and comments. Click on comments.
Oh, okay. It was stuck
Yeah.
on private chat. That's why I couldn't see comments.
Yeah, comments
Yeah,
is all what people see from the live. Private chat is only people that are in the stream.
Okay, I see.
Damn, bro, I'm really bad. See, the thing that I guess that makes me even the older guy in the crowd is that I grew up with my grandparents, so they all had their technology that I grew up with. So yes, a rotary phone was in my house at one point.
Oh, you're still stuck on that?
Oh, wait. Are those? Is that the
Yeah.
thing that you gotta go?
Yeah.
He said, is that the
Oh.
thing?
No. That was the first cell phone. I think not cell phone. That was the first telephone. I guess I first
The
used.
first
I-
cell phone came in a duffel bag. You get pulled over to the airport now if you brought one of those in.
no,
Yeah.
dude, see,
Oh.
my
Sorry. Go ahead.
our biggest achievement was call waiting and three-way call. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think
Yeah.
that was like a big thing.
Oh, dude, it was bad. It was bad. We were calling random people just to put them on hold.
Oh my god.
But,
Mouse
yeah,
with a
no, so
for the tracker. Oh my gosh.
now going
We used
back
to
to
take
where
those out in school just to troll people.
so going back to where you're from, you've obviously gone back there to visit, right?
Yes, back home.
Now, was that pre-tile or post-tile?
That was actually right around. That was right around the time when I was working at the restaurant, and on my off days, I would help the father-in-law. So, I guess sort of
Yeah,
right
you
around the
weren't-
beginning.
Right. No, I'm just asking because, like, now that you go back and you're a tile setter mindset, you might see things a lot different when you go back there. And you'll start asking questions too, because if you really are like a tile nerd, if you want to say,
Oh
you're
yeah.
gonna go back there and be like, how do they do it over here? Because I want to know their struggles.
Oh, I've already been wondering the amount of times I've already been just processing that, running that in my head.
Yeah.
The first
'Cause
time. Sorry, go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah, the first time I went back, well, yeah, when I first visited back 5 years ago, we ended up staying. Well, we traveled a little with my family, so we stayed at a couple of hotels, but like high end hotels and marble tiles everywhere, like in the showers and stuff like that. And at the time, I didn't really look to see for details, but I was working with tiles with with my father-in-law, so I was like, huh, I didn't know they had marble tiles and cool stuff like that here. That's cool. But now if I go back, I feel like I'm gonna be looking for those details and be like, oh wait, why did that why did they do that? Why I feel like I'm gonna be doing that a lot.
It's a curse.
Yeah, it is. I still do it here.
Yeah, Omar called me in Grand Central Station, right? A big like this is a tourist attraction, all right, known for its beauty, and he's like, that thing's fucked up. Like he's on the phone. He's like, I can see all this shit wrong with this. I was like, the nerve you have,
Did you bring a laser level?
Oh,
man.
dude.
Pops his level on Grand Central Station. This is bullshit.
So the crazy part about Grand Central is it's all the whole entire Grand Central is marble,
That
the
is
entire
crazy.
inside. Okay, and all the grout lines are brass. The metal brass grout lines.
Yeah.
So the irony behind that is that because marble or any natural stone has radiation naturally in it, comes from the ground, so it has radiation. So they have done there's like documents on it saying that every time you step in if Grand Central was a nuclear power plant, they would shut it down because of the levels of radiation. They're so high.
Really?
Yes, because it's
So
so
that's
much
what's wrong
stone.
with New York.
Everything in there is stone. Everything, pillars, steps, balusters, everything is literally marble in there, and brass. Everything is marble and brass. That was Vanderbilt's the guy
And
who
gold.
built it. And gold.
And
Well,
gold.
the clock and the clock that's in the middle of Grand Central is gold. The whole thing.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. And gold.
Yeah, he spent a lot of money in there, but yeah. So they said that if you going in there, you're essentially like getting an X-ray every time you walk in there. So the amount of radiation that's in there
Yeah.
naturally.
I want to ask this for Oli. So you say you work in Ottawa. Is there places in Canada that's close to you that like do you get more money going towards the city, or is it just everywhere more neutral? Like would you work, I know you mentioned Toronto. Would you work in Toronto?
Toronto is very far from where I live.
Okay.
From Ottawa, it's about 4 hours. Right now, it used to be 4 hours. It used to be 4 hours when I was younger, but now I'm pretty sure it's 5 hours. But from where I live, probably you're right about close to 6 hours.
Yes, sorry, I'm American. I'm geographically illiterate. So
That's all good. I also didn't understand the geographic of Canada until I was grown.
I still ask my buddy what state he's in. He's like, "Province?" I was like, no. Well, like your zip code? I don't know. But
Jesus. Well, they have Providence, right? That's their state. It's
Providence,
Providence,
yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, provinces and territories.
Jesus. The England still got a hold on them, huh? The Queen. Long live the
we
Queen.
got territories too. We got what, like 2 or 3 territories in the U.S. That's official. We've staked our claim in a couple other countries, but that's besides the point.
Is that right?
Which countries are?
Just about all of them, in all honesty.
Oh, that's what.
Puerto Rico.
Okay, that's what you mean.
Puerto Rico's a territory.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Puerto Rico's a territory.
Virgin Islands, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So
basically,
but-
where they make them, they can evade taxes and make money. Hey, let's just make them our territories.
So here's a good question for contractors in Canada, in your area. How does your licensing work? Because like for me, I get a contractor's license. It works for the entire state of North Carolina. For Omar, it's based off of county.
Mhm.
So I'm curious if Canada, especially since you're like in between, Ottawa and you said Ontario,
Quebec. Well, Ontario.
Quebec. Oh,
Yeah.
So like, what's the licensing situation for you over there? And do you need it?
So where I work currently in Ottawa, you don't really need it. You can do it if you want to, but I don't really know anyone that has a contracting license that
Is there a limitation?
I'm not sure. You do have to have a WSIB in order to work with bigger companies. So custom home builders or I don't know, agencies. stuff like that.
Okay.
If you want to work with those types of companies, you do need to have a WSIB uh, um, in Ottawa. But in Quebec, the province that I live in, I don't work here. But if I have done a couple of jobs here, cash. Um, One was a relative, and the other person was a referral, but she had contractors completely mess up her only uh, I guess bathroom, tubs around,
Mm.
shower. They did it 2 times, and even the second time they couldn't get it right. So
Ooh.
yeah, so she didn't know what to do, and called me for the rescue. So I just went in and did it. But yeah, I've done a couple of jobs here. It's just for me to be able to uh, continuously get jobs here and work with other companies. I would need to get a what is it called?
WSIB. Is that what you said?
No, that's for Ontario.
Oh.
Yeah, that's for Ottawa. So Ottawa is located in Ontario.
Oh.
Ontario is the province, and Ottawa is the city. So,
So where's Canada? No, I'm kidding.
so the province I live in is Quebec, and in order to work here, you would need RBQ, right, Kayla? Is it RBQ?
Okay.
Yeah, RBQ. That's what
Yeah.
it's called.
It's always interesting because even in the U.S., licensing is very different. You know, some by county, some by state. I
Yeah.
have a license I can access in North Carolina called the NASCLA, which would allow me to be licensed in 13 states and 2 territories.
Well,
You know, it's just, and some of them have different financial requirements. Like me, I don't have a contractor's license currently. I'm working on it, but in North Carolina, I'm limited to $30,000. So the second, you know, the point where I go over $30,000, even by $1, I have to have a contractor's license. So,
dang.
and even if the customer's providing the material, I have to factor in the market value of that material.
Oh wow,
No.
that's
So-
interesting. So
Now
here,
with, oh, go ahead.
yeah. So here, if I have my WSIB, which in order to work with bigger companies in Ottawa, that doesn't mean I can come and work in Quebec. Even if I have WSIB, if I want to come work in Quebec, I can still if what is it? What do you call them? If the city shows up, I can still get in ship pretty much. They will
Yeah.
tell me pack my shit, get out, and probably get fined.
Yep, that's how it is around here. They don't play.
Yeah.
Now, in how's the situation up there, up in Canada altogether, as far as the trades? You know, because we have a. I don't want to.
Labor
I don't want to say
shortage.
we're at the shortage point. We're not at the severe point, but we're
Here
getting
too.
there. You know, we're getting to that point because you know, like, I guess all the baby boomers are due to either pass away or retire.
Yeah.
Either one. And like, for instance, they're like, oh, go to trade school. Like, that's cool, but who's gonna teach the trade school?
Yeah, man. I wish they encouraged that in high school, especially at around my time, because everybody was encouraging, university
Yeah.
and college and be a doctor,
Well,
be great aspirations, but it's like you can't
Yeah.
if you're gonna motivate someone. I feel like you should just motivate them in general, but not be like, don't be biased towards something. If you see they're good for something and have potential, tell them. But I feel like just our whole generation, they just like they wanted to herd the whole generation into, this is
Yeah.
the best thing. We know the best thing for your future. This is where you're going. Just they wanted to direct us.
Ryan from RK Construction, we had him on the podcast, probably explained it the best, where he pushed college for useless degrees, like getting a bachelor's in underwater basket weaving, a degree that will never be utilized, but they
Yeah.
wanted you to go to
Yeah.
college. So now
Right.
we are in the benefit of that labor because there's enough of a labor shortage where people are willing to pay exponentially more than what they used to pay in the trades, to the point where we're competing, if not exceeding, a lot of these college degrees as far as their payout.
Yeah, I mean, we also, my generation, I should say, because I still got a few years over you guys, is we were demonized to become the trades. Like you were looked down upon, like, oh, you're going to become a plumber. Like
Yeah.
you're a nobody. You're nothing. That's basically where, if you weren't a college boy,
You're illiterate. You're
right,
slow.
you were like nothing.
Retarded,
Essentially.
but
Like,
that's a
like
different
why would
story.
you do that? They're like, oh, you're going to be a dirty plumber, this and that. I grew up in that, but my biggest thing was, for example, the biggest thing with college for me was they could never answer the question how much I'm going to make. I was like, okay, I can go for this degree. How much am I going to make? They're like, oh, well, there's so many fields and there's so many possibilities. Like, okay, but I need to know a number because I have rent, cell phone, car payments. I need to know an exact number. Otherwise, I think that was the biggest thing that a lot of people fell into. They were like, oh, I'm going to get this degree and I could potentially make money, but that wasn't a guarantee that you were going to make money.
Yeah.
So, coming out buried up to your eyebrows in debt, and then still end up working at that crappy job anyways.
And I feel like though a lot of people don't see the debt part, how it's going to affect them, how it's going to affect them until it's too late, sort of, or once they get hit by it and they're like, oh, it's like
vicious cycle.
Like, yeah, I mean,
and paying it off is just a nightmare. I know people who've had to pay it off, and they're still having to pay off their student loans, but
and they're in their 30s.
I'm just glad I didn't go that route, because I don't know. I feel like I would not have even done what I took, I guess, in the course that I took, or the field that I took. I feel like I wouldn't do that as a career or enjoy it. By the time I'm done university, it's like I feel like I would be tired of it, sort of thing,
So you're saying you think this worked out for the better, the greater good?
Yes, and I also I found everybody was doing the same thing, like wanting to go to university or college, but they were all going towards the same thing, which is working in an office and or being in front of a computer, which I enjoy. All of that. I can edit for hours, but I gotta take a break, mentally as well. So I know that, and I can do it on my free, on my free will and whatever. So I wanted to do something that was different and not, what everybody was just running into, like
business and management was the go-to degree that everybody took because they wanted to run their own business, because that's what they thought running a business was. And social media also too has helped, I guess, some of our generation, especially like those who were lost, like that we decided not to go to college. Because for me, when my that's also a direct result of our parents who migrated here and were like, you have to become a college student to be better than us. You can't just do the same things, which in part we can't fault them because we want them to do better. But at the same token, I don't think they understood the financial impact it would take. Like when my mom kept bugging me about college, I said, okay, cool. I took her to a college. I asked them, I said, what's the starting fee for the basic degree? And they were like, it's $30,000. And they're like, oh, okay, that's good. My mom was like, yeah, that's a year. She's like, no, that's a semester. So it's $30,000 a semester.
Damn.
Times 4. So she was like, excuse me? I was like, yeah, it's $200,000 when I walk out of here. She was like, no.
Boy, pick up that plunger.
So we left, and my parents are, they've had businesses. They still have businesses. So they're not strange to like being business owners or anything, but they just wanted the college. I guess that generation wanted to suffice that, like, oh, my son's a college boy.
Yeah, it's
a pride thing, because my dad's the same way.
Yeah,
I'm the only one of all the kids that didn't go to college. I make the most.
Same here.
I took I did go to college. I signed up. I took the entry courses. I did one semester. But when I was realizing that I was making more than my teacher at the time doing
Oof.
plumbing, I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna go. Like, this is not gonna be good.
It's a little awkward.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was awkward. I was like, how much are you making? She was like, well, I make this much. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm just gonna leave and just I'm out.
Yeah.
So, but I do believe though trades do need some level of college, and I don't mean like college as in a profession, but college as in like how to run a business, the business side of it.
YouTube
numbers,
University.
taxes. Aside from YouTube, like,
Yeah.
what I mean, there are some good teachers that will
YouTube.
teach you like the old school methods.
Yeah, but I feel like you need someone like that can show you or coach you personally that understands your area business wise.
Right.
I've watched so many videos on YouTube before I even like s- press the button, put my foot down on the gas to go all in starting my business. Maybe one video helped me out, but not really that helpful.
Well, we've ran into this where you can look up and you can learn business structures, right? But the structures still revolve around, like your local area, your numbers. So I can have the same business structure and model as Omar, but my area, my numbers are completely different. So he's working on me and Omar crunch numbers. So his numbers are significantly higher than mine, and we do the same work, but that's just because of the area that we're in.
Yeah.
So, you can teach the structure and you can teach the methods, but you can't teach the numbers, right? You still have to know. I forget what they call that.
Those are unique to your area. That's just and also that there's too many steps too. Like it's unique to your location, unique to your market, and also
Yeah.
unique
Yeah.
and it's also unique to your skill level. You're not gonna go and charge a $1 million price when you're just laying down like basic tiles. You're not running that kind of game. So, and that's why like the number one question that's killed every Facebook group is like, how much should I charge? And like at first, like we've all even asked that question. My question is still there. I asked it one time and I was kind of embarrassed, and I was like, you know what, I need to figure this out how I'm supposed to charge, not how because we
Yeah. I mean,
It's
it's
like the
it's nice.
$300,000 range. I've narrowed it down.
It's
Yeah,
nice
no,
to have input from other people, and I've done that too a couple of times. Actually, I've done that a lot of times on Instagram, just messaging people. But yeah, it's just crazy to see the price difference, and
oh,
especially in the States and Canada, and then just some places in Canada and my area, and I'm just like, hold up, I need to move there. What am I doing here?
yeah, no, it's like mine. You can go to my neighborhood and you're gonna get X. You go into New York City and you multiply it by 5. It's just literally location at that point, and
Yeah, exactly.
but the numbers are always going to be unique to whatever you're running, because again, it all goes into like so in depth, like what's your overhead, how many jobs are you running, who are you paying, are you using subs, there's so many things, and that's why Jeremiah and I was on a live video, and somebody came in and they're like, how much should I
We don't
charge?
talk about that. I was
So
pissed.
he's like, how much should I charge to do this floor? He's like, normally I charge this much, and the guy just left the chat. And like,
But
literally,
as I'm saying, but it depends on your area. He just straight up left my chat, and I'm pretty sure in that live stream, I'm like, oh, that motherfucker, like somewhere in there.
number. And it's you have to explain to everybody, and I'm sure you have too. Like,
You made
I
me
can
mad.
tell you, you know what I mean. I could tell you that I charge, let's say, 10,000 for a bathroom, right? Maybe you can charge in your area 15, but you take my number and you run with it. Yeah, you're still making money, but you're leaving
Yeah,
your market on the table. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, for sure.
Mario,
So,
I seen you, man.
Oh, I just saw a message. Here he left.
that's
He
Mario.
said, "How long it stays hot for?" Were you talking about the mug, the pack out mug? I don't. Is that what he was referring to?
Yeah, he's referring to the mug. How
Oh.
long is the?
It actually stays hot for a long time, but not as long as I thought it was going to. It managed to keep my tea warm. It wasn't hot. It stayed overnight. I just forgot it in there. The next,
You need what the hell's that brand?
Stanley.
No, well, Stanley thermos. Yeah, that thing.
Yeti.
No,
Yeti makes good thermoses, but no, I've always gone to
Yeah.
the Stanley. I got one that looks like a tank shell, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I have a Yeti one too, but I just
So-
like this one. But no, it was
it's-
pretty. It wasn't hot, but it was warm, like lukewarm. I
yeah,
went
no, the
to go take a
Stanley.
sip.
The Stanley you send. I think they still have one from World War II with hot tea in it. That's how long it'll stay hot. Like,
So let me
un-
ask you. Let me ask you this, Oli. How long have you been in business?
I registered my business exactly. It will be exactly 1 year in as of January. I registered it officially January around January last year of
Okay.
2023. Yeah.
So you'd say a little bit over a year that you've been working for yourself.
Yes, almost a full year that I've been working for myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, because we're kind of circling back to the pricing thing, how long would you say it took you to get a hold of your pricing, and what were the hurdles you ran into trying to find your own pricing? Because I know that everybody does. They Google. It's like, oh, okay, how much to a bathroom? Oh, $5,000. It'll be done yesterday. Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, I wish I was that good. I still ask the father-in-law for his inputs. I used to get him to do my prices before, and he doesn't charge he doesn't charge as high as he should be charging, but he gives me good prices, and I ask for inputs from other people, like I've asked what's his name, Randy, Vision, the Visionary
The visionary
Craftsman.
craftsman. Yeah.
Yeah, I usually ask him, and there's a couple people that I ask from my area as well. Nino Tiles. I don't know if you guys know him or follow him.
Mhm.
He also helps me, gives me his inputs on what he would charge if he was to do it, as well as Ben as well. But yeah, I just ask what people would charge, and I would do my own price, and just to see what
Mhm.
what range I'm at, and if I feel like I'm charging too low, then I'll change my price. But if I feel like I'm not charging too high, or I'm not losing out on money,
That sounds familiar.
I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's honestly, if you got a close network of people, that's always great. Even in my area, I'll take a bathroom. I'll look at it. I'm like, it's going to cost around this much to this much, and I'll send it to someone else. I was like, just out of curiosity, what would that run? They're maybe an hour out from me.
Yeah.
We have like Charlotte. Charlotte is pretty much the next city that's close to mine as far as size and pricing. And it's good to bounce numbers off the people over there, and they go, "Oh yeah, that's way too low," or "Oh yeah, that's way too high." Right? Then you can find
Yeah.
yourself at like a happy medium.
Yeah,
And me and
exactly.
Omar have done that, where it's like, all right, we take the same bathroom. I crunch my numbers. He crunches his numbers, but I'm also crunching it for North Carolina. He's crunching it for New York prices, and we're noticing there's almost like a consistent cost difference.
Yes, sir.
Now,
So
with,
it's always beneficial.
with your pricing, have you figured out your minimum you're supposed to make per day? Like that's unique to everybody.
Yes.
Like
So
how much you need to make per day in order for your business to run, essentially.
right now I feel like I'm happy, and I can sustain with $500 a day, but um I know there's definitely days where I don't make as much as that, and there's days where I make way more than that in a day. So it balances out, but right around $500. But if I'm having more people join me, like having helpers and stuff like that, that will probably go higher per day. But that's what my ballpark is. 500, 560 is what I aim for.
Now, does that sustain you and your company, or does that just sustain you?
Yes,
Okay.
me and my company as well. But it's a learning. I mean, I don't have it all figured out yet, so it's a learning progress. But,
Nobody does, buddy. We're all constantly changing.
so
Yeah, no, so
exactly.
yeah, that was my question, just because that was, I think, our like
That was
you
my
know,
downfall.
moment.
I would
Right, because he was charging by the square foot. And then I was like, listen, yeah, how do you go into a half bathroom that's 3 feet by 4 feet? You can
Yeah.
charge $200 to do the entire bathroom. You know what I mean? So you can't square footage. I think is good for large projects and
Yeah.
commercial work.
commercial, yeah.
Right, but
And sometimes new builds, I find if there's
Yes.
just
everything
flat out get it done. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think
Production work.
finding, you got to know your numbers as far as like overhead cost, and we also helped other people that were only charging for themselves to charge for, like, if you're charging a business, essentially you're paying a helper, you're paying an installer, you're paying yourself and your business.
Yeah.
So you gotta get to know that number, and that's the one that I think helps everybody that asks that question. Whenever somebody asks me on a DM, they're like, "How much should I charge?" I said, "Well, how much are you worth per day?" And they're like, "Oh, it's this much." I was like, "But how did you come to that number?" Because if you can't understand your daily, then you're not going to be able to understand your weekly, essentially.
Yeah.
Well,
And that should be
It-
also your like minimum. It shouldn't be like, this is what I want. That should be
Yeah,
like,
no, that's
below that. Below
Yeah,
this, I won't
That's
work.
another mistake we've made.
yeah,
That's
my minimum. That is
Yeah,
my
so-
so people will ask me for backsplashes or just a small accent wall, and they'll send me this is the tile. It's not that hard to work with. Let alone I go the next day, I find out it's mosaic sheet and it's marble. Like, oh, you should have told me that, because now I don't have my wet saw. you know like, they tell you stuff like that, and they tell you the square footage, thinking you're gonna give them the price with that. I've made those mistakes. I've charged with square footage, like you guys said, and that's also what I had to learn. And the father-in-law let me make those mistakes as well, in order for me to learn. So it's a journey. So
Damn,
you
he
just-
really is old fashioned.
yeah.
He lets you
No,
fuck up.
he's-
He's like, how's that paycheck? Yeah, sucks ass, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, he will say, this is his thing. I'll tell you what I know, and I guess teach me what he knows. If I like it, take it, and take what I like from it, and if I don't. So that's just his thing. So
Take it with a grain of salt.
exactly, that's how he is with tiles too. I'll show him stuff that people do online. He's not really like all into that. Like, I'll show him stuff, e-tile or
Like, where's the Hardy board?
yeah, it's tile bro do, and then he would just like look at me and just like go and just walk away. Like, that's pretty cool. Like, come on.
With disgust.
So here's a good question by Mario. And he says, "Are you guys ready to start investing into slabs?" I'm sure you're familiar with the large format slabs. They're getting very popular. The 5 foot by 10 foot tiles, or some of
Yes.
them are like 2 foot by 10 foot as well.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever. I might do slabs in the future, but I don't think I see myself doing that like in the near future. Maybe 5 years from now, I might be able to, have the tools and have the manpower, be able to build the team that I can, feel like we can do it together. But right now, I stick to.
Oh yeah,
large
you need a
form.
team.
Yeah, exactly. the tile is gonna just crush me, man. I'll be flattened.
They're not as heavy as you think. It's more about over flexing them. So
Yeah.
a little bit of background for me and for Mario. Majority of my tile experience is in slabs. It's actually how I learned to tile. So I'm planning to get back into it, just because I've worked on projects that were $80,000. I worked on bathrooms that were $189,000 that were utilizing slabs. So there are money in
Okay.
slabs.
Expensive.
Yeah, until you break one, you made a $5,000 mistake and your stomach twists. It's. I'm so much more open to work with slabs when I'm not paying for it, right? all it takes is one little crack in the whole wall, and it's always the back wall that breaks. It's never the side wall. It's always the back wall because that's what you start with. That cracks.
Yeah.
Now you've got to recut the whole piece because you can't grain match it. No amount of epoxy is going to fix that crack. Like it's just
Nope.
it's heart wrenching.
Yeah.
But there's good money in it. So
That's-
I'm definitely trying to get into it, Mario. But
Yeah, that's the exact reason I don't want to get into it. Also, the risk factor. There's lots of risk factors involved with that, right? Even with large format tiles. Say, you're doing a shower and you're trying to make the tiles, the veins match 2x4 tiles, and
Mhm.
maybe you have 2 tiles left and you just got that one last piece, and you can only make the cut once. So it's like you fuck up that cut, and then you have one extra left, but it's like that's the last one you have. Even if you fuck this one up, it's a big tile. You can't just use a piece that that's cut off or whatever.
where have I heard that before recently?
No, I because again, I'm still too early on having my business, and this was the first customer that got 24 by 48. I know that's not the biggest, but it was the first time, and I was like, all right. And then the
Standard
first-
10 to 15% overage.
So standard 15% overage, but I forget that these are large tiles. So one tile will do that 15% overage. Like
Yeah.
So I had this like L cut. They had to go where the half wall is. Everything was perfect. And then I'm putting it down, and I just wiggled it just to put it in place, and it chipped the corner. I'm like, oh, come on, man. It's just, and it was a good 3/4 inch chip. It wasn't just like something you could epoxy or fix. So I'm like, all right. And I like quickly realized, like, okay, we have zero room for error now because I just had to throw out an entire tile. Like, there's no fixing it. There's no like, oh, I'm gonna use it on the next one. No, that's it. It's done. It's
Done.
over.
Yeah.
You're not gonna use it. So luckily after that, we're like, okay. So now we had 2 gravels. We're like we're putting our fingers in the corners. I was like, we smash our fingers before we hit these tiles again. Like,
Oh, you know how many times I've dropped slabs on my toes, bro?
yeah. So I just, that was definitely a learning lesson, I guess, with large tiles that like, yes, the installation process is a little bit faster because
Mhm.
the shower was what? Let's see, 1, 2, 3. It was total of 16 tiles for the whole shower. So, like that's not bad. You think, oh, 16 tiles. I could do this in one day. But
Yeah.
then you realize like you can't. No.
You gotta take your time.
Take your time, remeasure again, because then you end up with weird cuts, and no matter how straight and square your walls are, things just magically decide to not be square and straight after you install them.
Yep.
Even after you put a level on it, you come back the next day and that thing is off. You're like, how? Explain to me. Damn thin set. But yeah, no, it was a learning experience, and like eventually I do too, like want to try to do, I guess, slab work. And I'm probably gonna do it on my own bathroom at home, just because, like, at least if it's my mistake, it's on
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
But it would be nice because, like, the idea of not having grout lines, or at least very minimal grout lines.
Yes, I like
And,
that. I like that.
Yeah, because in my area we have hard water, so it's
Yeah.
it comes from the ground, well water. So
Yeah,
yeah,
around here
grout
too, where I
lines,
live.
stains. Oh, so you guys are in well water instead of city?
Yeah, well, I'm out of the city. I live out in the country, right in the
Nice.
middle of buttfuck nowhere.
It's in the middle of fuck nowhere. Yeah, so that's, and we spoken to Jose, which is our, I guess, the messiah when it comes to large tiles, because we don't know anybody else that does tiles like that. At least I don't know. I haven't seen you.
Oh,
I
I'm
feel
just
like
saying.
I've seen the install.
what's his name? Heavy Tile? Harriet?
Herrick? Yeah, we have heavy.
Yeah, Herrick is good too.
Yeah.
But I don't think he does a lot of large, like,
No, I
really
haven't.
Slab.
Yeah, I haven't seen him do too much, but I think he did a fireplace with really big tiles.
They're big
Oh, yeah,
tiles. They weren't
recent.
slabs, but they were
No,
large
no.
format.
No, but I feel like
Yeah.
though he would crush it though. I feel like
Oh yeah, he's meticulous, so he would
yes,
definitely
he
do
is.
well on it. Honestly, it's just
Yeah,
a
like
matter of a slight learning curve.
yeah, I mean you're gonna make the the like the early mistakes that you made on every job, and then
Yeah.
you're like, all right, I'm not doing that
Cutting.
again. And
Yeah.
you know, like
The
I
biggest
mean,
learning
hey,
curve is cutting.
yeah, so it's just I think I'll eventually like I even like built a fireplace. You saw my fireplace that I built. I used a stack natural stones that come in sheets that you stack.
oof,
And I recently told my wife, I'm like, I'm gonna tear that out and put large tiles in there, bookmark it to make it look fancy. So she's like, leave things alone. Um, don't do it. Just it's fine the way it is. But yeah, no, that's like you said, in 5 years maybe. Who knows? Because you need a team for sure.
yeah,
Different set of
exactly.
tools. Um,
Yeah, tools. Yeah.
Definitely. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how it works in your area. Like here, we can have them delivered to your house to the job site
Oh,
versus you having to go and pick it up because that's another liability on its own. Driving that thing from point A to point B.
yeah, picking. Oof.
No, thank you. I'm good. I don't want to pick
Just
up Subway, let
I
alone
don't think
those.
I can handle that much stress. It's like after that I gotta drive it and then unload it and then cut it. Hold on, there's way too many, just like way
Oh,
too many
that's
chances for shit to go wrong where I'm
that's
just doing it by
easier.
myself.
You took the easier step. We used to cut it, pack it on a trailer on an A-frame, and it was a method to pack those panels, right? And then we would drive it onto the job site and install it. Depending, sometimes we would cut them on site, but a lot of people, what they do is they have the truck, the distributor truck, deliver it to the site, and then that way, if the distribution company breaks it, they got to pay for it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
but
and then you would send a three-fingered monkey to drive that truck,
Okay.
and hopefully it arrived in one piece. But
yeah,
yeah,
no,
no,
the company I worked for, the box truck they had, the suspension was so spongy, but they did that because if you hit one curb, all the panels would like start to crack. So like you would hit a bump and the whole box, I swear, would like drop down 1.5 feet, right? And it was so soft and spongy.
They delivered them on pallets or
No,
skip.
so it comes on an A-frame. You have to use a forklift to pick up the A-frame, and then to actually pick up the individual panels, that you can either use a suction cup frame or you tip part of the panel out, and there's like this frame that connects to, or this piece that connects to a forklift that has wheels, and it slides over, and when you pick it up fast, the wheels lock in place, and it picks that panel up, and you just kind of grab it and slowly guide it and hope that it doesn't break and cut your arm off.
It's not even
Um,
that. It's not even that hard or complicated to transport quartz because I've seen people like just drive quartz in the back of their truck. They have a
Mhm.
setup that just
Yeah, it's an A-frame.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it's called. Yeah, they just strap it and they just carry it and go in. Two people,
Well,
three
it's the
people.
same concept with slabs, and we've done this before, where in like very thin parts of quartz, right? If they don't cut it on site, they usually have a metal bar that runs across it that they clamp the countertop to, and that metal
Yeah,
bar is supporting that breaking point. We do the same thing with slabs, and when you're installing slabs, those suction cup frames, that's essentially the same thing, right?
yeah,
But we did that a lot. Even if you use like a 2x4, right? Something that's a little more rigid that can hold it in place, that helps with some of the flex. Because those panels are actually really flexible until you need to install them, right? And then it seems like if you blow on them too hard, they snap. Um, but I'm serious, dude. You'll pick the panel up and it'll like wobble, and you're like,
Oh, I know. I was watching a video on Tyler's World
yeah,
Tyler's World Talk page, and it was an L cup piece, and I don't know. I guess sort of one like this and like that. So the longer piece,
yeah, it was flopping.
yeah, it was flopping, and it was hanging on a piece of wire that was sticking out of the wall. I was like, oh, it's gonna break, but then it goes down and then it bounces back. I was like,
Yeah, and it's
oh,
funny. It's amazing how it does that. But if you go to install it, man, like I said, you breathe too hard on that panel, and it's just like snaps
yeah,
right across. It's not in the like it makes this little tink. That's it, tink. Once you hear that noise, you're like,
It's done. Throw it out.
And you got to pull that off, the suction of the thin set off the wall. You pulled a 12 by 24 off of a thin set wall. It's a pain in the ass. Now take a fucking 5-foot piece and try to yank it off. Yeah, no, that.
Yeah, no,
Bring
I
back some
had
PTSD
to
now.
do with the
Demo.
12 with the 24 by 48s, like just having to move it so that you could collapse the ridges. It was not
Yeah.
happening. I was like, I had the vibrator tool. I'm hitting that thing, and it was just. I used it. So that's another question for large tiles. What trowel do you use?
I use 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch, or depending on my my walls or my substrate, I will go to 3/8 by quarter. No, 3/8 by
Three.
3/8. Yeah.
3/8 by 3/8 if it's perfectly flat, 1/2 inch if it has imperfections.
Yeah, and then I mean, there's so many times where custom home builds. You go in and they say, "Yeah, everything is ready. Okay, waterproof." Not you start tiling, but it's like you have to better the wall, like spread on the wall, and then back better the tile, and then it's like,
Yeah. Well, for
Why am I
larger
having-
tile. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
sorry, it's like, why am I having to build out this much with thin set instead of you having to fix your damn wall? Like, use a level.
Well, so something that I was told by actually one of the guys that sits on the board for the TCNA is they're considering taking the 1/2 inch trowel out of the standard because of the collapsing the ridges, right? So it takes significantly more to collapse the ridges, and they're harder and it's less efficient. Now, Mario mentioned a good solution to that, which is the Tile Freak 1/2 by 1/2, and it's a slanted trowel. So it's basically a 1/2 by 1/2 on a 45-degree angle. So pretty much gravity is working in your favor, right? Once you slap the tile on top of it, you've pretty much already collapsed it.
I see. I
So-
have I have this one. It's sort of round. I guess
Euro trowel.
Euro trowel.
I have that one. I have I guess the square one, 1/2 by 1/2, and yeah, I actually want to try. I want to try the Tile Freak has it. The
Mhm.
little- I want to try that.
That's
one.
all. That's the one we're talking about. The slant.
Alright.
It's called lay flat.
Okay, yeah.
The
lay
trick
flat.
I use, you don't have to collapse ridges if there's no ridges there. So I just plop some on the tile and fucking stick it on the wall. No,
Cookie
but-
Monster.
but well, yes, sir. One of my favorite. Hudson has those. Yes.
Yes,
Well-
he has. Oh yes, I want to try those ones actually. Those ones.
We'll have to definitely check those out. We are coming across actually an hour and 40 minutes. So it's like I told you on the Instagram, we could talk all night. And we're really bad at that. So we'll try not to talk your ear off, but we definitely have to get you back on at some point because there's obviously more to talk about.
Yes, that would be awesome.
But quickly tell us, or not quickly, but just tell us where we can find you on all your social media, and then bring us in.
So well, you can find me on Instagram, Oli Tiles, OLY_tiles. Same thing on TikTok as well, and Facebook. My website, www.olitiles.com. That's my website. You can check me out on there as well. Has a lot of my, well, not a lot, but some of my pictures. Also work of my father-in-law. We did together. He picks on me because he goes, "This is my work. Why are you posting it?" But it's kind of funny because I write down in
Well, there,
my
comrade.
yeah, I write
our
down
work.
in my descriptions, giving credits for who did the work and whatnot. But he's always picking on me. He's like, "This is my work. Why are you posting it on your website?"
All right. Well, Oli, it was great having you on. You're our first Canadian on the podcast, so this is a monumental moment. Episode 24, everybody. I think this is actually supposed to be episode 25. Now that I think about it.
I think so, yeah. We've passed
yeah.
the 1%. Yes.
What,
So
what episode is it? Episode 20.
It's labeled 24, but I think we're supposed to be episode 25.
25. Okay, so technically
So.
24, but it's scheduled for the 25th. Supposed to be.
Yeah, so we'll label it as the 25th because that was on my end. But thank you for coming on. We'd love to have you again, and we'll take it out for the
Yes.
night. So we'll see you guys next week.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
All right.
All right, man. Thank